I've done a lot of Mario Kart Top 10s on my channel recently, but this time I thought I would take it a step further since a lot of people are asking about my opinion on certain tracks. I'm gonna save the retro tracks for a different video after we get all of the DLC. Anyways, let's not delay any longer and get on to the ranking. 145, Bowser's Castle 2. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the worst ever Mario Kart track. This track features super frustrating turns, a boost panel that never works, and a literal dead end that gives you nowhere to go but lava. Sure, you can skip over it with a feather, but that doesn't make up for how much of a troll this is. This track is the most infuriating thing to race on, and the fact that it's on the SNES doesn't do it any favors. 144, Vanilla Lake 1. Thankfully, we're now heading into the track that you can actually have fun on. Vanilla Lake 1 is actually not a terrible track, but when we're talking about all the great tracks this game series has to offer, the ice physics and ice cubes that can bring you to a halt don't really help. 143, Koopa Beach 1. Despite the fact that there are ramps to jump on, cheap cheeps to avoid, and some greenery that can slow you down, this track is literally just a circle. 142, Vanilla Lake 2. In my opinion, this is just a better version of Vanilla Lake 1. The ice cubes are only really a problem on lap 1, and this track is a free win if you just hop across the cracks in the ice. 141, Choco Island 1. This track is a decent track featuring ramps and a much different look than the usual Super Mario Kart tracks. The only problem I have with this track is how the off-road literally kills your speed, and with how Super Mario Kart controls, it's hard to avoid going off course a bit. 140, Figure 8 Circuit. It honestly hurts to put this track so low on the list, however, like the name suggests, you literally drive in the shape of an 8. No ramps, no boosts, no nothing. This track is literally the tutorial track of Mario Kart DS. 139, Donut Plains 3. This track doesn't mess around. It features a skinny path, Monty moles, and impossible turns that leave you falling into the water. Make sure not to fall in though, because Lakitu doesn't even pick you up on this track. You have to climb out of the water on your own. 138, Donut Plains 2. It's a more toned down version of Donut Plains 3, but the Monty moles certainly didn't get the memo because they're absolutely ruthless in this track and really want to hitch a ride with you. 137, Donut Plains 1. In Donut Plains' case, the less that's going on, the better. This track is basically a Mario Circuit track, but we have a bridge that isn't a hassle to cross unlike the other one. 136, Peach Circuit. Introducing the GBA starter track. It's nothing really special other than the name, because there are actually not that many Peach tracks besides the Mario Circuits, Royal Raceway, and Peach Gardens. 135, Choco Island 2. Even though this track has the exact same issues as the first one, it feels so much better to play than the first one. It's super satisfying to collect the coins in the middle of the mud, or chocolate I should say, and the jumps just feel a lot better even though they're the same ramps. 134, Mario Circuit 1. The first ever Mario Kart track. As legendary as it is, there's not much to this track. The literal only thing to note about this track is the pipes that are on the outside lanes and the off-road, so hopefully you don't have to interact with them much. 133, Mario Circuit 4. The most complex Mario Circuit. There is a lot of wacky turns and pipes to squeeze through. These pipes make the track kind of annoying with them being very difficult to avoid. 132, Mario Circuit 3. This Mario Circuit adds more to the Mario Circuit track series, like speed boosts and mushroom shortcuts. There is also a really tricky turn right in the middle of the track. 131, Mario Circuit 2. This is the best Mario Circuit because there is a boost ramp to add verticality to this track, and is one of the only tracks in the game that has a jump like this. 130, Bone Dry Dunes. They did my man Dry Bowser dirty with this one. The track has some things to enjoy like an anti-gravity section going up a skeleton, bone piranha plants from the new Super Mario Bros. Series, and the toads sailing on the sand in the background. However, it isn't pretty, lacks excitement, and the music is nothing special. This track is the worst Mario Kart 8 Deluxe track. 129, Lakeside Park. You took Riverside Park, which is a great track, and somehow made it levels worse. The lava that falls onto the track is a great touch, but the turns are painfully difficult, and there's a turn that is one of the hardest turns in the game, and if you take it too wide, you can fall over the ledge, and now you are miles behind everyone, and your race is ruined. 128, Neo Bowser City. I will forever hate this track. In Mario Kart 7 it was new and cool, I guess. The track had weird controls and a literal impossible turn though. But for Mario Kart 8's DLC, Nintendo had the option to remake a Bowser's Castle for this game like the others before it, and what do we get instead? You guessed it. 127, Daisy Circuit. I've never found this track enjoyable compared to others. It's just your average circuit track, but there are some statues, a beautiful sunset, and a shortcut that I will bonk on 9 times out of 10. 126, Mario Circuit. I put this one over Peach Circuit because it features cool mushroom shortcuts and adds a pit stop with coins and a boost. 125, Luigi Circuit. I love how unique this track is. Luigi Circuit is the first track to include weather other than the snow in Frappe Snowland. There is also puddles to avoid as well. You gotta love the Luigi blimps in the background too. 124, Mario Raceway. This track is okay in my opinion. There's a lot of tricky turns, a massive pipe to drive under, and music that absolutely slaps. 123, Toad Circuit. If you like the Luigi blimps, then you gotta love the massive Toad balloons too. Okay, maybe I take that one back. Anyways, it's another tutorial track, but this time there's a gliding section. I know it's not a big deal now, but at the time this was revolutionary. 122, Yoshi Valley. Whoa, hold on, let me explain. I love this track and wish I could put it higher, but there are two major problems with this track, and no, none of them are the placement system. This track just would have been so much better in any other 3D Mario Kart game, but Mario Kart 64's controlling absolutely kills this track, because when you drive off or skid off, which happens a lot, it takes a millennium for Lakitu to pull you out. At least there's a big Yoshi egg to avoid. 121, Koopa Beach 2. Well, at least it's not a circle this time, and there are water holes to avoid. 120, Snowland. The track that no one remembered until the DLC came out. Anyways, this track is underrated with great music and not a bad track layout. The constant jittering in the screen is a bit annoying, but I don't really care about that to be honest. 119, N64 Sherbet Land. I really like the music, penguins, and the mysterious cave, but other than that, it's just a nice track. 118, Ghost Valley 1. I don't know why, but I enjoy playing the Ghost Valleys much more than the average person. This one is the most basic, with a few jumps and a really skinny shortcut to jump onto with a mushroom or a feather. 117, Ghost Valley 3. I don't know what the deal with late game tracks is, but they seem to take perfectly good tracks and just make them harder, which usually makes them worse. In this case, the road is too skinny, the road is broken in some spots, and the turns are super complicated. 116, Ghost Valley 2. I'm glad they chose this one to be remade later on. There's a speed boost where you have to be driving straight, sharp turns, and a cool shortcut. 115, Broken Pier. Despite it being a track that is designed to be hard and not fun, there is still fun to be had with the skinny shortcuts, sharp turns, and ramps. 114, Boo Lake. It's a solid track, almost like a deluxe version of the Ghost Valleys. I prefer this one over Broken Pier because it's less frustrating and slippery. 113, GBA Bowser's Castle 1. Love the music, but the track layout is pretty boring besides a few thwomps here and there. 112, Bowser's Castle 1. There's a section with jumps and a section with boosts, and the track is miles better than the second one from this game. 111, GBA Bowser's Castle 2. We now have cage sections with ramps to jump over lava for a cool effect, which is nice I guess. 110, Bowser's Castle 3. This one is much smoother than the others, and you gotta love that ramp section. It feels super satisfying to cross the lava this way. 109, Mario Kart Stadium. Whoop-de-doo, we can now drive on these anti-gravity platforms. You at least feel special when you see the television helicopter shining lights at you while you're racing. 108, Yoshi Desert. It's just another Super Circuit track, however you gotta love the Yoshi Sphinx, pyramids, and the desert oasis in the background and on the track. 107, Desert Hills. If you couldn't tell already, I'm not a huge fan of desert tracks. However, this track has a good amount of hotheads, pokies, and weird turns to make it interesting. 106, GBA Bowser's Castle 4. We are racing through a nuclear power plant, and there are Mecha Koopas just running around. You also have to avoid lava holes in the track as well. I'd love to see this track remade soon. 105, GBA Bowser's Castle 3. Maybe it's because this one has already been remade in 3D, but I honestly prefer this one over the fourth one. The color scheme is so different, and I honestly like it that way. Kamek also makes a surprise appearance, and the lava sections are cool in my opinion. 104, Choco Mountain. This is a track that I never have a consistent opinion on. I love the tunnel and the falling rock sections to this level, however it contains a section where it's very easy to fall onto the earlier part of the track, which kills your chances of winning. Also, when you hit the walls it affects your car really weirdly. Overall it's just an okay track. 103, DS Mario Circuit. This track sure loves its piranha plants and Goombas. Other than that, it's just a bunch of wavy turns. 102, GameCube Mario Circuit. It's basically your typical circuit track, but there is a massive chain chomp, a bumpy section, and piranha plates to avoid. 101, Piranha Plant Slide. This track is a bit overrated in my opinion. Everyone gives high praise to the 3DS tracks that returned in Mario Kart 8, however, I think there were so many options. This track is basically an underwater track based off the underground from the main series games. However, besides the piranha plants and the gliding section, that's it for this track. 100, Luigi Circuit. Mario Kart Wii is the third game in the series to start off with a Luigi track. Fun fact of the day, everyone. Anyways, it's your typical starter track with a booster section and a few shortcuts here and there. 99, Shy Guy Beach. One of the less popular among beach tracks, however I think it's a decent track. Gotta love the music, Shy Guy ship, and those crabs vibing on the beach. 98, Twisted Mansion. The third haunted house track, and it is also the third best. The added touches like the wavy carpet, bonefish, and booze and armor are really good in my opinion. 97, Electrodrome. This is another track that I think is a bit overrated. Other than the flashing lights and okay music, this track is just an anti-gravity showcase. 96, GameCube Sherbetland. The controls for this track are super slippery, but I honestly see it as an extra challenge instead of an aggravating feature. 95, Cheep Cheep Lagoon. This track's purpose was to show off the new underwater mechanic in Mario Kart 7, but other than that, there isn't really much more to this track. 94, Rosalina's Ice World. I guess Rosalina just straight up owns an ice planet now. Anyways, it again is showing the new underwater mechanic, but the cavern in this track is better and there are always multiple paths to take in this track. 93, Yoshi Falls. This track is viewed by many as boring, but what can I say, I'm a sucker for waterfall tracks. I think just the mechanics of this track are so cool, and wish there was more built onto this track. 92, Koopa Troopa Beach. This track is very flat with a few ramps and crabs to avoid. I don't like the fact that the palm trees make you spin out and that the shortcut is so janky and very hard to use successfully. 91, Royal Raceway. Despite the cool Super Mario 64 reference, this track is just meh to me. Sure, there's a massive jump, but the fact that the road is impossible to stay on is not something I like. 90, Wii U Mario Circuit. This track is what Figure 8 Circuit wishes it was. There are more things to this track other than the obvious anti-gravity usage like piranha plants, bridges, and Goombas which may appear in stacks. 89, Ice Ice Outpost. The gimmick for this track is there always being at least 2 split paths to choose from. There are also a few shortcuts here and there, which is pretty cool I guess. 88, Water Park. Oh no, the park exploded. At least it's now a racetrack. It's a really weird design for a track, but it works and that's all that matters. 87, Wild Woods. In this track we are racing up a giant tree and we stumble into a Shy Guy hideout, I guess. After that you ride down a current into a little spring that you can boost off lily pads. 86, Frappe Snowland. This track gives off Christmas vibes to me. It's nighttime, the snow is falling, and there's a bunch of snowmen next to a Mario snow sculpture. 85, Moo Moo Farm. A farm-themed track actually works surprisingly well for Mario Kart. There are Monty Moles on the inside lanes to create a risk and reward factor, which is a really great touch. 84, Cheep Cheep Beach. I really love the island theme to this level. We have a boardwalk with some houses on it, then we have an actual beach section with ramps and Cheep Cheeps, and lastly there's a jungle to finish it off. 83, Cheeseland. How the heck do you think of a Moon Cheese Mario Kart track? Anyways, there are some mice just vibing on the track, and you can easily cheese this track with mushrooms or stars, pun intended. 82, Thwomp Ruins. This track brings 2 new things to the table, like Thwomps in a non-Bowser's Castle track, and being able to drive on the walls. 81, Wii Mario Circuit. It took GCN Mario Circuit and made it better. I love that you can jump over the chain chomp, that is pretty cool to me. 80, Luigi Raceway. Such a legendary track. You gotta love the balloon, tunnel, and music to this track as well. 79, 3DS Mario Circuit. And here we have the best Mario Circuit track. You took the best thing from multiple tracks and added new things as well. You got the pretty scenery, mushroom bounce pads, a pipe to go through, and most importantly, you get to drive through Peach's castle and glide out the top. 78, Banshee Boardwalk. This is Haunted House number 2, and it is incredibly spooky. It's so dark outside that you can barely even see the water under you. It's definitely a well done track. 77, Peach Beach. Love the sunshine references here. Make sure to avoid the counterclocks and you'll be good. 76, Wario Coliseum. This track is wacky. The turns are difficult and there are many boosts. 75, Wario Stadium. Wario Stadium is a really good track featuring all sorts of jumps that you would see in a dirt bike or monster truck stadium. However, it is so long. It would have been a perfect 1-lap track, but since they made it 3, it will go down a few spots. 74, Sweet Sweet Canyon. We finally get to drive around Candyland. They even flooded some of it with syrup, I guess, and there's a cool donut shortcut. 73, Cheep Cheep Island. This track looks beautiful with the lighthouse and fish in the background. It takes place on multiple islands connected by bridges and features crabs, boosts, and jumps. One of Super Circuit's finest. 72, Riverside Park. I personally love this track so much. The turns feel difficult but not in a frustrating way, plus there is many boosts and ramps. The music is also pretty good as well. Nintendo, please remake this one, I'm begging you. 71, Delfino Square. Love the Sunshine reference, however the skinny section with the houses sucks because bonking into the houses makes you lose all your speed. At least there are cool shortcuts and a cool bridge to make up for it. 70, DK Pass. Climb up and down the mountain, it's that simple. You can't forget about the snowmen, snow boulders, and that broken item box as well. 69, Excitebike Arena. This track looks really nice in HD, and I love to see the nod to older franchises that Nintendo seemingly forgot about. The track also switches the placement of the ramps every time you race on it. 68, DK Jungle Parkway. Big jumps, long skinny bridge, in a cave. I love the little touches for this track, like the coconuts being thrown at you when you go off the track, and the boats sailing past. It also is a nod to Donkey Kong Country. 67, Peach Gardens. This track is really unique and I like that. The chain chomps have been unleashed and are searching the gardens for intruders. There are also many patches of plants that you can skip through with mushrooms. 66, Toad Harbor. We have a San Francisco track which was out of nowhere, but it works. There are many paths to take, including driving on the walls. My favorite part is at the end where there are ramps leaving you with a chance to trick off the trolleys. 65, Dragon Driftway. They made a course based on Gobblegut from Super Mario Galaxy 2. How cool is that? Unfortunately, other than the cool looks, this track is just a bunch of squiggles and ramps. 64, Moo Moo Meadows. This track is very underrated. There are tricky turns, Monty Moles, a big ramp to trick off, and most importantly, cows crossing the road. 63, Daisy Hills. They could have used this track to show off mechanics like in Cheep Cheep Lagoon and Toad Circuit, but this track is actually good, featuring bridges with no guardrails, goats crossing the road, and a gliding section where you avoid balloons and a fountain. 62, DK Jungle. We go from a jungle to a pond with a waterfall, back to a jungle, through a banana temple, and then over the pond. That's basically the track. 61, Luigi Circuit. An absolute icon of a track. This track was literally designed perfectly for Double Dash with the items and is a blast to play on. I don't know why Mario Kart DS even tried to remake it. 60, Dry Dry Desert. This track has so many things to avoid. We have the Pokies, the tornadoes, and even a Sarlacc piranha that will eat you if you get sucked in and you don't have a mushroom. 59, Dry Dry Ruins. This was one of the first tracks to change based on the lap. Anyways, the music is one of my favorites ever, and the ruins are actually cool. This would have easily been a top 10 track if its half-pipe section was smoother, and the pillars weren't the most janky things on planet Earth. 58, Dolphin Shoals. Now that we have gone through the tracks that are just showcasing the gimmick, let's focus on the tracks that use it to perfection. This track features dolphins swimming by as you race, a pipe section where you have to ride from one pipe to the other, an eel from Mario 64, and a whirlpool section where the saxophone goes nuts in the background. 57, Wario's Gold Mine, an absolute classic from the Wii. The best part of this track is avoiding the minecarts throughout the mine. Like, why would you change this? Unfortunately, during the cool parts where the track dips like a roller coaster, the physics get all weird. 56, Wario Shipyard. Staying with the Wario theme, this track is another great track which uses the underwater mechanic instead of showing it. You gotta love the journey through Wario's pirate ship. 55, Hyrule Circuit. I never could have saw a Zelda themed track coming. We have everything changed to be Zelda themed, and there is even a really cool Master Sword shortcut. 54, Sunset Wilds. You gotta love the sunset and the Shy Guys that can sabotage you during the race. The sky getting darker each lap is a really cool touch. 53, Wario Stadium. You are very clearly in a stadium with the crowd cheering you on. It is very cool making the fire jumps. 52, Daisy Cruiser. We get to race through a cruise ship. I mean, do I need to say any more? 51, Animal Crossing. This is even more surprising than Hyrule Circuit, but I'm really happy we got this track. As someone who played a lot of Animal Crossing, I can get a kick out of it. 50, GBA Rainbow Road. And here we see the first Rainbow Road on the list. The GBA's version is easily the hardest one and features a lot of boosts, jumps, and shooting stars that crash onto the track. 49, SNES Rainbow Road, the one that started all of the chaos. Anyways, it's really difficult with the combination of other races throwing stuff and trying to bump you off, no guardrails, and rainbow thwomps that can make you spin out if they hit you. 48, Shroom Ridge, a really underrated traffic track. It gives off road trip vibes. 47, Toad's Turnpike. The first ever traffic track and is a really good track overall. This track creates insane moments where you have to drive in between the trucks and that usually decides the race. 46. Cloud Top Cruise. This track is basically a massive vine block and an airship from the Super Mario Bros. Games, and also features a section where you are in a storm and have to avoid lightning. 45. Dino Dino Jungle. There's a big dinosaur, a cave, and water geysers to avoid. A really cool track. 44. Super Bell Subway. Apparently Mario is racing through subways now, like where else is there to go? In this track you could drive on the tracks, on the side, or you can bring out your inner subway surfer and just drive on the trains. 43. Wii U Rainbow Road. The theme is spaceship this time around, and even though it introduces literally nothing new, it's still a really great and fun track. 42. Ribbon Road. A present themed track. Just who was coming up with this stuff? I really want to know. It's always a great time going from boost panel to boost panel and also going off a few jumps. 41. Sunshine Airport. A track that was in my top 20 for a video, but it's slowly losing its value to me. You start in an airport, take off with the airplanes, drive in the sky, and then land with the airplanes, but that's about it. 40. N64 Bowser's Castle. One of the most creepy Bowser's Castles. When you are racing, you are greeted with a bunch of thwomps, including a green one that is trapped behind bars. The next room features more thwomps that can actually chase you down. After traversing more of the castle, you go up a spiral tower and then jump back down. It feels like a journey. 39. Yoshi Circuit. Yeah, they actually made Yoshi into a track. It features piranha plants, shortcuts, and some great music. 38. Luigi's Mansion. This was the second track to promote a different game series, the first one being DK Jungle Parkway, and it is a banger. 37. Sky Garden. Yeah, the track that gets messed up every time it's remade. Anyways, the music is great, the shortcuts and ramps are amazing, and the design is so unique. 36. 3DS Bowser's Castle. It's called Bowser's Castle, but we are mainly focusing on the outside as you are only in the castle for 2 seconds. The underwater section with the lava is really cool, and this track features a lot of new gimmicks. 35. Toad's Factory. So now we know that the Toads make the item boxes. This track is really cool and is so unique with great music. 34. N64 Rainbow Road. Despite the fact that it's 2 laps too long, the music and chain chomps make up for it. 33. Shy Guy Bazaar. An Arabian design from Super Mario Bros. 2 came out of nowhere, but it makes for a really great race. It features a gliding section and new added features. 32. Shy Guy Falls. Like I said, I'm a sucker for waterfall tracks. Anyways, the fact that you can see and hear the Shy Guys in the background puts the bow on this track. 31. Mushroom Gorge. What a way to use the trick system to perfection. Even though mushrooms are a big thing in the Mushroom Kingdom, this is the first mushroom track. Despite being a mechanics showcase, it makes for an incredible track. 30. DS Bowser's Castle. This is another track that I would really like to see in HD. The new gimmicks of this track include burners, moving platforms, and a rotating bar where you hope and pray that there are no shocks or blue shells heading your way, because falling makes you take the long way around. 29. DS Rainbow Road. This isn't the most well-known Rainbow Road, but a decent one nevertheless. The new added features are loop-de-loops, rings, and anti-gravity sections. Yeah, that's right, you can drive upside down before anti-gravity existed. 28. Waluigi Stadium. Only a Waluigi track could pull off what this one does. Jumps through fire, robotic piranha plants, and a big screen that you can see yourself racing on. 27. Maka Woohoo. It's just crazy that they managed to create Woohoo Island tracks in Mario Kart. Anyways, this one sorta closes out the Woohoo Island tracks with a sunset and a massive gliding section to the Swordplay Coliseum. 26. Woohoo Loop. I honestly prefer this one over Maka Woohoo because of the traffic and more landmarks to see. 25. Grumble Volcano. We get to drive through an erupting volcano, like how cool is that? The music also pairs perfectly with the track. 24. Mushroom Bridge. This is another track that has one of my favorite Mario Kart tunes. Besides that, the traffic and plenty of shortcuts make for an outstanding track. 23. Mushroom City. The night theme and more in this track makes this one better than Mushroom Bridge. 22. Wii U Bowser's Castle. You take Bowser's Castle and flip it on its head, literally. I love the Super Mario Bros. 3 throwback with the statues in the beginning, the Bowser statue punching the road, and the gliding section where you have to avoid lava geysers at the end. 20. Calamari Desert. My favorite desert track. I mean, you just can't beat that train in that sunset. I'm very thankful that this one made a return. 21. GameCube Rainbow Road. This track is the ultimate test of Double Dash. It's very difficult with great music, great looks, and Mushroom City in the background. 19. Tick-Tock Clock. They made a track out of a Mario 64 level, but not only did they do that, they made an absolute banger of a track. 18. Rock Mountain. This is a great all-around Mario Kart track with a really cool gliding section and the hill climb with falling boulders at the end. 17. Maple Treeway. Everyone is shrunk and is racing on a tree. There's also wigglers to avoid and a wavy bridge at the end. 16. Mute City. Gotta love the F-Zero tracks. Anyways, the recharge pathways now give you coins, which is a perfect feature. 15. Coconut Mall. The most legendary Mario Kart track. The shortcut everyone knows, the escalators, the insane drivers, and most importantly, the music. 14. DK Summit. You know it's gonna be good if it starts off with a DK barrel cannon. There are lots of ramps and a literal half-pipe section where you avoid snowboarding Shy Guys. 13. Mount Wario. I think this one is better than DK Summit because of the journey you go on. Starting by jumping out of a freaking plane, sliding down the mountain, gliding through a cavern, driving through a dam, avoiding trees in a forest, and then skiing down to a gliding section where you glide to victory or defeat if you didn't get an item box. 12. Music Park. I honestly don't know how this wasn't in my top 20 video. You drive on instruments that play to the song. There's also some piranha plants and music notes to avoid. 11. Airship Fortress. The name says it all. It's an airship from Super Mario Bros. 3 that fires you into a spiral fortress. There are also all of the enemies that you encounter in the games, which is a really great touch. 10. DK Mountain. The best mountain track ever. You are shot out of a cannon onto a volcano and have to ride down the bumpy road. Watch out for boulders though. 9. GameCube Bowser's Castle. This is what every Bowser's Castle should feel like. Super tricky turns, enemies and objects from the main series games, and a giant Bowser statue. 8. Koopa Cape. Between the music, rushing water, and the pre-Mario Kart 7 underwater section, there is no way this track wouldn't be in my top 10. 7. Moonview Highway. In my opinion, this track is super underrated, but maybe that's because I'm more of a fan of the crazy tracks than everyone else. Anyways, the fact that the turns are basically glide turns make this track so exciting, while the music makes it seem like a chase. 6. Baby Park. Keeping with the chaotic track, it doesn't get more chaotic than this. If you pick this track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, your friends will probably kick you out of the room. 5. Wii Bowser's Castle. The corners are sharp and there is a section where you have to avoid fireballs by using half pipes. 4. 3DS Rainbow Road. A lot of people would put this at number 1, but I have 3 tracks that I think are better. Anyways, this track has great music, decent track design, and a bunch of new gimmicks. I can see why this track is such a beloved track by many. 3. Big Blue. Yes, I put Big Blue over 3DS Rainbow Road. It took Mute City and made it a giant water slide. Like, play this track on 200cc and tell me it isn't the best track in the game. 2. Waluigi Pinball. I absolutely love the track design here. As someone who enjoys pinball, I love the pinball feeling here, on top of it being a Waluigi track. 1. Wii Rainbow Road. I mean, what else would be at number 1? There is no other track where falling off is actually fun. On top of all this, it is Super Mario Galaxy themed, and the song is a remix of Good Egg Galaxy. It also introduced so many mechanics we have never seen before. Hopefully this list is not too different than yours. Let me know what tracks are too low and too high in the comments, and I will see y'all next time. Have a good one.